An expert witness was asked by a post office prosecutor to consider changing his testimony to avoid a damaging concession. This is what the BBC has found. Fujitsu engineer Gareth Jenkins rephrased parts of a report on the Horizon IT system after receiving advice from his barrister, Warwick Tatford.
So the case resulted in sub-postmistress Seema Misra being wrongfully imprisoned while pregnant. Our business correspondent Mark Ashdown has this report.
The Horizon IT system was central to the post office scandal. Testimony supporting its credibility was used time and again to prosecute sub-postmasters accused of theft or fraud. One was Seema Misra, accused of stealing £75,000 and eventually sent to jail while she was pregnant. At her trial in 2010, Gareth Jenkins was called as an expert witness who must act independently of the post office. Documents submitted to the public inquiry and seen by the BBC raised questions about just how well he carried out that role. Gareth Jenkins sent his draft witness statement to Warwick Tatford, a barrister working for the post office. He said he could not 10%, we now know he meant 100%, rule out problems with Horizon screens as a possible cause for some shortfalls. Mr Tatford responded, asking him to please rephrase, as this will be taken as a damaging concession. In his final written testimony, Mr Jenkins stated that no scenario had been presented that could explain losses because of poorly calibrated touchscreens. In another exchange, Mr Jenkins said he agreed with the defence expert that sub-postmaster training issues could account for some shortfalls, stating, "I support his finding regarding discrepancies in cash in almost every period." Mr Tatford responded, saying his agreement might be interpreted as a concession that the post office's case is entirely flawed. In his final statement, Mr Jenkins instead said that cash discrepancies indicated at least poor management within the branch and probably something more serious. By law, all the draft documents should have been shared with Seema Misra's defence team, but all they saw was the final version after all the changes had been made. She told us she found it horrible, the idea that words were being put into the mouth of an expert witness. And her former solicitor said it was clear her client had been denied a fair trial. Seema Misra has previously told BBC Breakfast about the toll her conviction has taken on her.
If I wouldn't been pregnant, I would have killed myself. Because for me, like, I gave a bad name to my family being to prison. So I always say, the youngest one kept me alive and the eldest one kept my husband alive. So it was really bad. I never thought I was going to come out alive from there. So each and every happy moment of my life since 2005, Post Office ruined it.
Giving evidence to the public inquiry, Warwick Tatford apologised unreservedly to Seema Misra and added this admission.
No, I think it is unfair, and I'm sorry for that. I think what I was doing was just trying to clarify matters and make things clear. But I do agree that I've overstepped the mark there.
The Metropolitan Police is currently investigating Mr Jenkins and one other Fujitsu employee to establish whether they should face criminal charges.
What this evidence shows is that the net should be probably widening to take in a much wider group of people, including lawyers working within the post office and outside the post office.
Neither Mr Jenkins nor Mr Tatford felt it appropriate to comment further at this stage. The post office said it was focused on righting the wrongs of the past. Mark Ashdown, BBC News.